Don't lie to me about your chance about falling in love. What makes you happy is what makes you drown. But what you want and what makes you bad. And give them a chance to make things right. But just be honest for once in a while. It was a part of a silly joke. Well, listen from it comes down to
How you doing, guys? Welcome back to Coffee and Juice. So today we're going to be doing a natty or not on your boy Jake Gyllenhaal. And the reason how this came to my attention is that I'm sitting down and I'm crying a little bit because I probably spent $120 on UFC 285 like some of yous did, or you wait a couple of hours or a couple of days later and you watch it on YouTube, and that's fine. Whatever your situation is financially, I don't necessarily care. But what I do care about, because I'm going to speculate and keep in mind I have no prior information about what this individual does, and once again, this is for entertainment, educational purposes only. So it looks like your boy Jake Gyllenhaal stepped on the gas once again regarding running gear for his movie with Conor McGregor, where he happens to play a UFC fighter. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching some guy, I didn't even recognize the guy, come on the screen and he's yelling, he's flailing his arms on, and I'm like, who's this jerk off? And then all of a sudden I look, oh, it's Jake Gyllenhaal. And then obviously I realize, because I'm very astute, that they're shooting a movie scene. But what I want to say is that what we're going to do right now, we're going to do a natty or not, and we're going to figure out exactly what I think he dosed or cycled for this particular movie, and we'll do a little bit of a historical timeline regarding this individual. So Jake Gyllenhaal, natty or not, let's see what we got. First of all, I feel very uncomfortable doing a natty or not on a guy who I feel has the most impeccable hairline out of the Hollywood gentlemen that are out there. So once again, I have some reservations regarding doing this kind of video, but once again, I am a fan. But at the same time, we got to look at all of this, and it's all about education, and it's about entertainment purposes only regarding what I'm going to talk about. So now we got Donnie Darko, where this kid plays some type of teen weirdo back in the day. And then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to move up to a movie called Nightcrawler. Now, when you look at Nightcrawler, he looks like some creep, and he looks cracked out of his mind, kind of like Morph from the X-Men if you're still a child and you watch cartoons like me. So now he looks all drawn in, sucked in. But keep in mind, I think the kid's around 6 feet. He has a very kind of sinewy type frame. He's usually very skinny, lean, that's how you want to try to put or categorize this individual's physique. So now if we jump all the way to Southpaw, so I'm going to try to marry Southpaw and this new movie with Conor McGregor that this kid's in. And all I could say is that we could speculate, obviously, once again, because once again, I have no prior information about what this individual does, is that we could probably say he played a boxer, now he's playing a mixed martial artist, is that probably he's running, and I don't even know if this kid looks like a kid who would pin himself, to be honest. So I'm going to go with this, and a lot of you might argue, obviously comment below, like and subscribe. He's doing probably a lipoderm, or he's doing a testosterone cream, the highest dose that they can give him. Unless he's doing test propionate and he's pinning every day, maybe with an insulin needle, etc. So we got testosterone that's going to be in a mix. I'm going to say, by looking at his physique, he's probably on some type of a Arimidex or an Astrazole. You know, once again, that's going to dry you out. You're going to have less water retention regarding this particular AI inhibitor. So now, when we go to something called oxandrolone, better known as Anavar, I'm going to say he's running that, and it's going to, and I'll make the stipulation, and no offense to the TRT clinics, but I'm going to tell you that he's doing pharmaceutical grade, either generic or once again, you know, high end, because he's got the money, is that he's doing oxandrolone right out of the pharmacy, 10 to 20 milligrams, either all in one shot or he's dividing it throughout the day. So we got the test, we got the Arimidex, and we got the oxandrolone. Now, is the kid running GH on a regular basis for anti-aging? Could be. I don't really know. But from what I could see, and, you know, just to digress a little bit, the kid doesn't look like he had hair transplants. It looks like, you know, God and the follicular warrior gods looked upon him and said, we're going to give you one of the best hairlines that me personally I've ever seen. And God bless him for that. So now, once again, we go back to the juice, because that's why you click the thumbnail, and we look at the guy. So we got the test, we got the ox, we got the Arimidex. Now, once again, he's got some type of cash. So what I'll say is that, is he running a low dose of Ozempic or some type of liraglutide? You know, once again, Ozempic face. But anyway, what I want to say is that that could be in a mix because the kid wants to strip all that visceral subcutaneous fat off of his body, and that's part of the package. So once again, he also could be using a transdermal stanozolol or Winstrol. So now we have all these things in the mix. So once again, I like to do quick breakdowns. And once again, I don't know if the kid's on gear, but I'm going to assume, and especially in Southpaw, he looks like, I don't know, I forget the timeline in between each movie, but all I'm trying to say is that he looked more harder in that movie than he looks in this particular UFC movie. So it's either he did a little bit better with the diuretics pre-shooting, or he went on a little bit more juice, speculatively, obviously, for Southpaw. So now if we go back to this new movie with Conor McGregor, and I'm not saying that he got any advice from Conor McGregor, because I believe, even though the kid Conor McGregor put on about 30 pounds of muscle and he's about 5'5", I feel that he's still natty, maybe because I'm partial to his tattoos and I'm also a fan, and he has a nice yacht. So anyway, when it comes to also other things that Jake Gyllenhaal might have done, is that, remember, he also maintains a cosmetic appearance. So he probably used something called a liposcope or aminophylline, which you could find in the TRT clinics. So I think pretty much we can argue that those are the compounds that were chosen for this particular type of physique. And all I could say is that with the boxing movie, if this was planned, he's a little bit more leaner and more ripped. And if you know about the world of boxing, the guys are very, very lean due to the intensive work. But on the flip side of the coin, I'm not saying the MMA guys are not lean, but also keep in mind, he's probably trying to portray someone who's lean, but also someone at the same time that can't look like a popcorn because they get tested by USADA/WADA. So maybe that was in his purview or in his thought process when he was leaning out for the movie. So all I could say is that Jake Gyllenhaal, once again, I have no prior information. It's very possible that it could be, you know, like I say, $30 million for a contract. You have to look a certain way. The kid's relatively thin, Donnie Darko. And all I'm trying to say is that he might have stepped on the gas, and this is what I think he did. So just to reiterate and close it out real quick, we got the test, we got the Arimidex, we got the Oxandrolone, and then we got the lotions and potions, which are very couture juice, I like to call it. It's very expensive, but once again, me personally, I appreciate the aesthetic and cosmetic look. Some of you are looking to be monsters with acne all over you, and then you have no hair. But once again, that's fine. You could be bald. I have a lot of bald friends, and you can. Once again, I'm going to do a video on palookas or wigs, and we're going to do hair units eventually. So look, like, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers. I appreciate you. Coffee and juice. We'll talk soon.